Tuna na habari.
Wote ni mimi. Tuendelee tu.
Na vile sasa tumeenda live, unajua kwa live kwa TV. Sasa watu hawatukuja.
Kwanza hiyo ndio inafanyanga kwenye story ile yako.
Kama nimeweka. Sasa sitaweka location.
Imagine ndio inafanyanga tunajua.
Sitaweka location.
Tena ile speaker huko kwa.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Reverend Dr. Selma Sonyango. I'm the Pimac Observer Coordinator. I want to say I'm happy that because of this international observation, the work is done and the report is being released in my region. That is in Kakamega town, Kakamega County, that now we cover the former Western region. Thank you. Together with me is the CEO of Pimac, Mr. Pius Masai Mwachi. And at this time, I want to give him the opportunity to give the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anselma Onyango. As you are aware, my name is Pius Masai Mwachi. I am the Chief Executive Officer, Pimac International Long-Term Observer Mission, and also the Chief Observer, Pimac International, leading large component of observers who are observing elections 2022 and beyond. Actually, as you are aware that we are covering election, the whole electoral process. We deployed our people nationally, regionally, counties, and also involved in tallying centers. Personally, I was in tallying center Nairobi, and also had the opportunity to move outside Nairobi within other counties. Therefore, we are observing, and our people, like in other observer teams, were compiling reports, whereby we released our preliminary report some time back. And today being the 19th, Friday 19th August 2022, I've been given a report by my team, which I contributed, and they contributed that the report is now ready. We want to release this report to the world, Kenyan people eating, the Kenyan citizen eating, because it is their report. Whatever you'll see on this report is what we gathered from the ground. We have only summarized to give you what you need to know. And it is important that the report should be taken seriously for us to have an improvement for future elections. Actually, I'm releasing this press statement from Kakamega Golf Hotel because I was informed by my people when I had visited this area that the report is ready. And I told them, even if it's ready, I cannot go to Nairobi to release a report. Media is everywhere. And I decided to confirm by calling media people to meet in Kakamega Golf Hotel so that I can release the report. And actually, this is what I'm going to release for now. Excellencies, heads of international and national election observers, missions, ambassadors and high commissioners, invited guests, international and local observers, Pimac observers, Pimac peace and mediation ambassadors, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Pimac International is accredited as a long-term observer mission, whereby it has been involved in observing the election, the whole electoral process. Also before we had what you call assisting and supporting voter civic education program, which we are still doing even up to this time. Pimac International Observer mission was accredited by IEPC Kenya to participate in observation and voter civic education. Pimac International Long-Term Observer mission guidelines are follows. Every member individually signed a pledge to comply with the IPC Code of Conduct for election observers. Read IPC Code of Conduct and signed pledge to comply with official requirements. We are just good citizens, professionals, and volunteers in observing 2022 general and presidential. Nobody has funded us. We are funding ourselves as professionals, our time and our resources. We support free, fair, peaceful, and credible elections. We have entered into storybooks and records of elections observers and voter civic etiquette. We have accreditation as Pimac International Long-Term Election Observer 2022 mission and voter civic educator of professionals and volunteers. Our main objective is as follows: to comply with the IEPC Election Observer Code of Conduct in supporting fair, peaceful, and critical general and presidential elections in Kenya. Impartiality. All members are committed to IPC Code of Conduct, impartial, non-impartial, neutral, and acts within the law and Constitution of Kenya. A coverage will cover all the whole election process, country regions, counties, and constituencies. As you are here, that we are independent. Our headquarters is Nairobi along Ngong Road, Greenhouse Mall, where I operate as the secretary receiving all the information. Reporting key points of observation. Legal framework. Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is mandated by law and Constitution of Kenya to conduct free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections in Kenya. Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, the IPC, accredited both international and local observers, long-term and short-term missions, and participated in the observation of electoral process in Kenya. Observer mission. Pimac International is a long-term observer mission, the leading Kenyan-led international observer and water civic education organization within a global concept. Water civic education. Pimac International is accredited by IPC as a civic water education electoral process. Pimac International is a long-term and involved in the whole electoral process observation. So our people observed, and we summarize the report as you'll see down here. In pre-election, Pimac International was involved in a civic water education and conducted training and sensitization session of members of the public and potential voters. However, there is still more room required for water civic education. We realize that most voters lack information and lack participation. Voter registration. Pimac International observed the voter registration as they were that the process happened, but most people did not take it positively because some people did not even register. A large number of people, the youth, required to register, and we'll see the conversation down there. Political parties and party nominations. Pimac International observed political parties, nominations, and elections. And during the campaigns, realized that the campaigns took place, and there are issues related to campaigns that most candidates had opportunity to traverse the country during their campaigns. In some areas, they made challenges. These are challenges that need to be addressed by the administrators and the political arena, so that anyone doing the campaign should be free and everywhere within the Republic of Kenya. Election day activities. Pimac International participated in observation election activities in Kenya 2022. Media. Pimac International participated in media interviews and discussions whereby we are able to talk to Kenyans, addressing them to be calm, to accept the results. And indeed, up to even right now, we're still telling them that please accept the results, and if there are issues, the affected parties are taking appropriate actions. But us as Kenyans, we did our part, we voted. Just wait for what the law will direct as per any complaint given by any other party involved in the elections. Media. Now, post-election, we will continue with post-election, engaging citizens to accept results, the will of the people of Kenya. You know, the results that people expected is the will of the people of Kenya. And indeed, what we know is the election that took place was peaceful. but realize that up the last time, that's where things now started changing, now creating issues that are now being discussed in social and even other arrangements. Our observation is as follows. We observed one item as administration and functioning of the electoral process. The concerns are as follows. Through the whole electoral process, we observed teamwork along the IEPC administration staff. But a way forward, we say that there is need for more openness in discussions and decision-making mechanisms by the commissioners in building trust among themselves and the IEPC chairman. Another observation, National Tiling Center activities were initially open and the commissioners were seen reading and announcing tiling center floor publicly before all players, and media covered the event witnessed by election observers, political agents, among other relevant people present. Then the way forward, we say that it is important that the IPC administration can consider sharing with observers any challenges or any matter that may interfere with the electoral process at any given time, rather than making it secret and causing divisions among the IEPC administration and among the commissioners, which finally affected the release of the presidential election results and the credibility of the presidential results. We were there. So it's important for them to share the challenges so that observers can also observe.
Maybe Mr. Pius,
Yes.
for the purposes of news,
Yes.
is it possible for you just to summarize? Just give us a summary.
Go to the summary.
Then you'll give us that report, a copy of the report.
Well, as you have requested, I wanted the public to know those challenges.
Okay.
And because of media, I'll then narrow down to the summaries. But we have this report saying this happened, and then this is a way forward. We have given consideration to that. But because I've been requested by media for the purpose of this, and I'll give them this information, they'll use it. I'll just now then go straight away to the recommendations. Conclusion. So let me just move to the I'll just move towards the possible recommendations. Okay, one. Results of an election must reflect the will of the people as represented on Form 34A original. Action by who? We say that Wafula Chebukati, the chairman IPC, and the commission. That's the action. Then remarks, we say that no one is allowed to change or alter the will of the people. Pimac International long-term election observer mission appeals to IPC Commission to consider resolving their internal conflicts and adhere to their signed oath to serve as commissioners by conducting free, fair, credible, and peaceful general and president Kenya 2022, that is, its results must reflect the will of the people who are the voters as represented on Form 34A original, which was shared down there before being sent to Nairobi. Number two, as a recommendation, resolutions of IPC internal conflict and improvement of teamwork. We say, Mr. Wafula Chebukati, the chairman IPC, and the commissioners, they need to look into that. And then we say that the rule of law and the Constitution of Kenya must be respected. Number three, we say that in the local process need to be taken care of by all affected parties. There are legal process that are required by law. Those are accepting the elections results, those are not accepting the election results, and we thank Kenyan people that they are peaceful waiting. So it's important that legal processes be taken. If anyone affected by the result, those unaccepted, those not accepted, all parties of conflict need to take responsibility by adhering to the law, and we thank them that up to now they are doing that. Recognition, reconciliation as number four. All citizens need to be reconciled. We are one people of Kenya, one country. We know for the next 5 years, we still the same people. So we appeal to everyone to preach peace as Kenyans and our partners and friends. Number 5, civic education. We realize that IPC is a leading stakeholder in civic education, but all players can consider enhancing civic education for all citizens. This is what is lacking. Most voters know nothing about civic education. It's important for them also to change attitudes and listen to education so that in future you might have a change in the voting system. You know that even most voters, where I was in Central, I traversed most of the counties where I observed even Nairobi, it was not as usual. Many voters did not turn up. Those ones who had voting cards and this one who didn't have. So it's important that they be educated to ensure that they give us leaders and they vote for the leaders they want, rather than telling others to go and vote for them. Number 6, moving the country forward is a responsibility of all Kenyans and our partners. There is no loser in elections. All are winners. There is need to consider joining hands as Kenyans in uniting our country and moving forward to development in income generating projects. That's where we can bring food on our table. Number 7, Kenyans can consider being observers than being monitors. Why are we saying this as observers? Most Kenyans wanted to monitor election, and that's what brings the conflict. You monitor because you suspect you don't trust another fella. But we say that all Kenyans and partners need to observe elections so that when you are voting, you're only watching, listening, and you're observing. There's need for considering building trust among ourselves and in the electoral body if we are observers. Ladies and gentlemen, we conclude by saying, generally, the 2022 general and presidential election was free, fair, credible, and peaceful. Generally, turnout of voters affected the results, creating stiff competition among the leading competitors. Actually, if Kenyans came out like numbers, there would be a very big difference. What could see a real change of who is the winning, who is losing. But for this election, it was tough. 2022 election challenges cannot affect election results because that Form 34A is reliable, was made open, visible, shared by all parties involved in the electoral process, and used for verification. So if there are any issues, those forms are very reliable. The 2022 general and presidential election were held in Kenya on the 9th August 2022, whereby the electoral body IEBC conducted a free, fair, credible, and peaceful election. However, the commission, through its internal administration, differed on the release of election results as follows. That on 15th August, Wafula Chebukati, the chairman of IPC, through his official powers, announced the results of presidential election as received from the polling stations and contains in Form 34A in accordance with the law, and declared Dr. William K.S. Ruto of Kenya Kwanza coalition as the winner by total votes 7,176,142 votes, while Raila Amolo Odinga of the Simio Party second with 6,942,930 votes. George Luchiri Wachakoya of Roots Party third with 61,969 votes, and David Waika Maure of the Akano Party with 31,947 votes. The chairman said that the constitution mandate falls squarely on the chairman of the commission, who is the national returning officer, as stated in notice number 4956 of 28th April 2022. That on 15th August 2022, Juliana Cherera, Deputy Vice Chair, led four commissioners in making a separate announcement at Serena Hotel, Nairobi, that they cannot take ownership of the result because of the opaque nature. The two actions caused a concern to the credibility of the presidential results. The commission can consider completing elections in the two counties, Kakamega and Mombasa, for governor positions, and also in the remaining area for ward representation in other counties. So it's important that it's done now, because we're tired. They want to know their leaders. If more time is given, they are losing. So it's important the electoral party can consider giving them time to do the election now. Okay, observers witness a peaceful process in the electoral process. Commissioners interchangeably announcing results for 6 days at the National Tallying Center in the full glare of televisions. Later, during the announcement of the winner of the presidential vote, was surprised to see a divided commission. Therefore, the IPC are resolving their internal differences and enhance teamwork. With the support of Form 34A unanimously, tell Kenyans who won the presidential elections 2022. What are they waiting for? And they have those forms. They are describing themselves. Prepare to assist relevant authorities and the judiciary with available evidence in resolving conflict surrounding 2022 presidential election results. Any unsatisfied party can consider using legal means in challenging the opponent. And I believe that process is on. Kenyans can consider maintaining peace as everything surrounding presidential election results is being addressed within the law. It's not our work. You can only be a witness. Let people do their work, let those authorities work. But you can also give evidence if you are called upon as a Kenyan person, as a people. Pimac International will continue with post-election activities in cooperation with stakeholders and partners. Circle of the 2027 election that also need to be stated. Serving humanity through acts of kindness, generosity, and volunteerism. Conducting peace and mediation activities programs with you people, media being included, leading at the front. Participating in election observation and civic voter education worldwide. In this, collaborations and partnership with state and non-state like-minded individuals and organizations. Thank you all. We still appeal to Kenyan people. Please, let's be watchful, listen, avoid a lot of information in social media. Many people are writing many statements, and if they are called upon in a court of law, they cannot elaborate, and even they cannot come out clear on what they are saying. It's important that the electoral process, they did a good work. Everyone has commended them for good work. But at the last, the thing and the announcement of the result has brought problems which can be addressed by the same people. Then let Kenyan live peacefully. And whatever result they'll give the Kenyan, they'll be satisfied because the process was free, fair, credible, and peaceful. Thank you. Any question?
Maybe I wanted to know, as observers, you are neutral voice.
Yes.
In some cases, we've been told there were some irregularities. You, as observers, did you perhaps, get to see those irregularities that they are being talked about?
That's a very good question. In this election process, you're aware that in every stage, there were people, there were agents, and the observers. And if there were any irregularities, it was now someone pointing it out. Here is an irregularity, and an observer can see, and then can make a report. If it's not pointed, it's not easy. Like I was in Bomas of Kenya throughout and the final tally process. Even when there's a problem in the commission, we did not know because we are waiting for them to continue finalizing the reading of the result and then giving the final tally. But you see what was happening. Shortly, some other commissioners were in Serena, and then the chairman and some commissioners were left there. So it's important that even for future, that's observers are people who watch actually and also listen. So if there are any issues of that nature, it's important that that person watching that puts the attention of the observer so that the observer can include in the report. Because if not given information, if you don't see what is seen that is an irregularity, you cannot document. So it's important that information can be shared. And this one started initially that from the briefing that we had before the election. So it's important that when you have any information, share with an observer. An observer will only document and has steps to take with the authorities. But if you don't also give the observer information, he can't know. Observer cannot know some of the things if not highlight or not brought forward for the attention of the observers.
In short, are you, as observers, for the results that you are given, or you are against?
As observers, we don't tally any information. And that's why we say it clearly remains between the chairman of the IEPC of Lechepkati and the commissioners. And that's why they have an oath they signed. In fact, as for me, they would have in one room, discuss, and then vote, and then come out with clear information for the people. So whatever what they tell us, because they are trusted by law, we'll respect it. And as I said before, the person announcing the result is the chairman. He did it. But it's those commissioners, they went aside. What they saw what they announced. Now, all lies with them. The truth is between God and the commissioners.
Okay, you as our observer,
Yes.
Chairman of IBC postponed the gubernatorial elections, citing insecurity and profiling of IBC officers. What is your stand?
That's a very good question. That's why I'm here in Western. I came to observe. And I've been transversing. There is a lot of security. I tell the chairman of IPC and the commissioners, allow people to vote. Don't take people far from what they want. There's a lot of security. The police did the work very well, and the security is everywhere. I've transversed this count of Kakamega. I just came to observe, of course, to see what's happening around here, and that's when I was told the results ready to announce it. I can do it from here. Actually, there is peace, and even Mombasa people have here right now. People are losing, and those ones who wanted to vote, some wanted to go their place of work. Some have remained waiting, wanted to vote on 23rd. It has been postponed again. I just appeal to the electoral party, please give people time to vote. Don't take this thing far. Just required to be done now. The day is tomorrow, not the other day. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you get copies straight away. Yeah, copies.
Copies ni muhimu.
You can get your copies. You can get nisikie kopi yangu hiyo. You can get your copies here.
Yeah.
Na upelekee mwenzako kama ile mwenye unataka kumpelekea umpelekee.
Labda utatuambia tu jina na kwa dakika moja ni rasmi nini ambayo mlikuwa mnafanya?
Mimi naitwa Joel Olwenyi. Tumekuja hapa ili director wetu wa Pimac International aweze kutoa ripoti ya ile uangalizi ama observation mission ambayo tulikuwa nayo katika nchi mzima during the election. Ndio tumekuja hapa kutoa hiyo ripoti kupitia kwa director wetu Bwana Pius Masai.
Labda kwa vitu ambazo mwenyekiti director wenu amekuwa nazo ambayo nyinyi kama mmesample tu moja ama mbili tatu zilitokea wakati wa uchaguzi.
Amesema tulikuwa na uchaguzi wa amani. Akataja kwamba tulikuwa na uwazi katika hii kura, na akataja kwamba mambo na usalama pia ilishughulikiwa vilivyo, na ametaja akasema kwamba tuwe wa Kenya watulivu, wa kutulia, tusiwe watu wa kusambaza maneno yasiyofaa ama zile messages ambazo hazifai katika vyombo ama kwa social media yoyote, sababu hiyo itaanza kuleta watu kutofautiana. Tuwache mambo ya koti iendelee, tuwache wale commissioners wa IBC waendelee, hao ndio watatupatia suluhisho kwa yale ambayo yako mbele yetu kama Kenya. Asante.